Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to go through the process of making Netsu the fire element kitty, and this little one will be up for sale in my new shop, my website creaturesofnat.com, so you can find her there if she hasn't already been adopted. So moving on to the process. First, as usual, I start off with that resin cast that I have sculpted myself out of monster clay, and then I molded it in silicone and cast it in resin. But for this one, I cast some glass eyes in the head while I was pouring the resin in. So I know I get a lot of questions about this tutorial, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not, or if I do, it'll probably be like a Patreon thing or something. But anyway, I'm painting around the eyes, nose and mouth in that same black acrylic paint that I use for all my other dolls, which is from the brand Chromacryl, and you don't have to be too neat about it because we're going to cover it in fur anyway. Moving on to the fur, and I'm using that same nightmare fur that I use for my lemurs for the Calgary Zoo, and although it is nightmare fur, it is actually really soft, so I wanted to make another doll out of the leftover that I had for that from making the lemurs. So I have a video that I just posted up previously before this one about the worst faux furs to work with, and this is definitely the worst one to work with. There's nothing that cuts it, or it's just really tough to work with, but it is really soft. So as you can see, I cut out all of the shapes for the body, and I'm going to be using a different faux fur. So this is a nice orange faux fur, which is also surprisingly in the worst faux furs to work with, but as this is a fire element kitty, so this fur is perfect for what I'm using it for. So as usual with a creature that I've designed, comes a backstory, so I'll read the backstory now. Fire element kitties are very cheeky and unpredictable creatures. One minute they'll be loving and cuddly, and the next they'll be happily bite your hand in a hyperactive play fit. These kittens live in a very large society and communicate with little chatters and squeaks, which locals say sounds like popping fire. Their cheeks and tails boast a flame. As kittens, they tend to lose control quite often, but as they mature, they'll gain full control of the intensity and size of the flames. They learn skills by play fighting with other kittens, often using their tails as sticks to whack their other kittens. This is also how they hunt. Their diet mainly consists of insects and small creatures, using their tail to stun and singe their food. Fire element kittens are very fast creatures and can be seen running around the red tribal lands in Krai, India. Each tribal land seems to have their very own elemental creature specific to that region. So that gives you a little insight onto what's coming next. So what you've just seen is how I've sewn the body together. So I will sew it on a sewing machine, and I will then flip it inside out so it's the right way around. But I leave the back end open so I'm able to flip it around really easily, and I also leave the legs open so I'm able to squeeze them through as well. And once that's done, I then make the armature out of wire in this particular doll, and then I'll go ahead and attach all the resin pieces to that wire armature. And I had a second thought while I attached these resin feet was to paint them black, because the rest of the body is black anyway, so I thought I would just jump in and put some black on those paws, mainly because when you apply the fur, it's any see-through will be black rather than white. So once I've done that, I'll then go ahead and sew up all the loose ends using a ladder stitch, and I do plan on making a ladder stitch video specific to faux fur, so I will put that up hopefully in the next few weeks. It's just gotta find the time to do it, and I'll try and use a different fur rather than black so you can actually see what's going on. So once that's all sewn up, I will then go ahead and attach that faux fur to the resin piece using a tacky fabric glue, and mine's just from a local store called Spotlight, but you can probably find it in any local craft store in your area. So this is what the head will look like before all of the fur is applied, and it's gone a bit messy with all the black around it, but no big deal, because I sort of wanted to sketch out where I wanted the black fur to go and where I wanted other fur to go. So and then I'll go ahead and apply the faux fur. And again, I get a lot of questions about that furring process, but I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet, so I'll let you know when I do. So here's what it looks like once I've applied all the fur. I went for a white muzzle and white ears, and then some white underneath, and then I wanted to add those flame-like patterns on the side of its cheeks. So this is what it looks like when I've just trimmed it and I haven't really shaded anything in or added any sort of colour to it, so it's straight after trimming. Moving on to adding some colour, and I'm just gonna go in with some yellow fabric dye, and I'm just gonna sketch out a little bit and sort of blend it into the yellow. Because I didn't want such a stark line. I wanted more of a gradient from the white into the orange, so I went with a yellow colour to do that, and it also brings a different colour to the whole doll rather than it just being 3 different colours, and also brings out the colour in the eyes. And I also went for the brush rather than there's a little lorikeet flying past, rather than a airbrush, just because I had more control over where that paint will go, and it's only a small area, so there's no point dirtying the airbrush to paint that small little area. So right now I'm just dotting in some little dots that you see on Kat's cheeks where the whiskers go. So I'm just using a felt tip pen, and this is one from Sharpie, the Stained series. And this is what she looks like. So again, you can head to my shop on my website, creaturesofnat.com, to see if she's still available. And that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any requests, you can leave it in the comments down below. You can also check me out on Instagram and Facebook at Creatures of Nat, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!